Adam Caplan, ESPN NFL insider. Talk some Eagles, talk some NFL. Adam, how you doing today?
I'm good. Very busy Wednesday here in the National Football League.
Well, it seems like the last few weeks have been crazy busy, and it seemed like it just comes in droves, doesn't it?
It does, and what happens is you have the craziness of last week. Free agency actually started that last Monday. Then it opened up in droves on Wednesday, and it's now we're in week 2 when it really slows down. But this is when I think bargains can be had, and I think the Eagles got a good one with Chris Givens today.
Let's talk about Chris Givens. It's a 1-year deal. He played with Sam Bradford back in St. Louis last year. He spent half of the season in Baltimore. What does he bring to the Eagles that they don't already have on the roster?
Well, he can run. I mean, he's not real tall. He's 5'11", but he can run. He can make plays. He's been an inconsistent player. That's why he's bounced around now. He's now with his third team. It was pressed into service with the Ravens because of injury. But this is a great opportunity here because right now you have one outside receiver, Nelson Aguilar, who will start, and you have Jordan Matthews, who will start inside. Just a matter of how they want to go formationally. I mean, right now, Chris Givens has a real opportunity not only to make the team, but to contribute right away.
The Eagles had talked about the fact that they were trying to cultivate these young wide receivers for them to get better, and that Chris Givens is a veteran receiver. I mean, obviously, compared to the guys who are on the team. What are some of the things that a veteran receiver can do for a younger receiver that the younger receiver can't do on his own? Is it just mentorship? Is it leadership? Is it leading by example? What is it?
Well, I don't think Chris Givens would be that guy. He's a young guy. I think what it is here is just about creating competition. The Eagles need competition. They're very young at receiver. One of the youngest teams at wide receiver, quite frankly. Givens will be at least under contract right now, he'd be the oldest wide receiver. So he's going to have an opportunity here to play right away.
Yesterday, the Eagles signed Nolan Carroll, 1 year, $2.36 million. He has the chance to earn up to $3 million. It seems like, because of the injury, the Eagles were able to get him at a bit of a discount and kind of keep some continuity in a secondary that has kind of been in and out with a lot of the cars shuffling in and out.
Yeah, and what they need to do, they need more competition here. I don't think there's any question about it. I don't think they'll be done at corner. I expect them to address this in the draft, potentially at number 8. In the first round. They're going to do that. They're very young at corner, and they need proven playmakers. They just don't have that right now at the cornerback position, and I think that's something that they'll add.
What does Nolan Carroll bring to this Eagles defense now that you have Jim Schwartzs as a defensive coordinator, who some fans feel this is the first time they've had a real defensive coordinator in Philadelphia since Jim Johnson?
Yeah, he does a real good job. Jim Schwartzs is extremely aggressive. Nolan Carroll's a veteran. He's the one real veteran of the group who will probably play significant minutes. He's got versatility. You could line him up inside at linebacker, which he did a couple years ago, but he'll play primarily corner with the Eagles. And it's a situation where they're going to have competition. There's no doubt about it. And this is a quality signing. He's played fairly well for the Eagles when he's been healthy.
Speaking of Jim Schwartzs, we had 3 guys now from Buffalo come into town, and the consistent thing, whether it's been McKelvin, whether it's been Bradham, they've all said the same thing, which is Jim Schwartz's defense allows guys to play. It allows them to make plays, allows them to play up to their strengths. How important is that for the Eagles, considering how rough their defense has been the last couple of years?
Yeah, I think what will happen is Schwartz will make up for whatever liabilities they have on defense just with scheme and being aggressive. But the one thing you have to have at the National Football League is quality corners, and right now that to me is the big issue for the Eagles now. They're really solid at safety, at least as far as the starters. They have one of the best safety tandems in the league with McLeod and Jenkins. But cornerback, to me, if you really lined up what were the issues for the Eagles going forward on defense, to me it's clearly cornerback. I don't think there's any question about it.
We're talking with Adam Caplan, ESPN NFL insider here on the Sports Bash, 97.3 ESPN. Josh Hennig in for Mike Gill. I wanted to ask you about some NFL news as well. C.J. Anderson was signed to a tender, and then with the Dolphins, Broncos matched it. Now he's back in Denver, and now it looks like Chris Johnson is going to Miami. It seems like Miami, with Mike Tannenbaum in charge, is really just trying to get as many different players as possible. It's almost like he's trying to revamp the roster.
Yeah, I think it was a surprise when they made the trade for Byron Maxwell, but they felt that Byron Maxwell is still a quality corner. He's probably a better fit for their scheme on defense with Vance Joseph. And I think that's kind of the way that they looked at it. And obviously they didn't get C.J. Anderson because the Broncos matched the offer sheet. And I think running back now is something that the Dolphins will look at going forward. They're a team that I think is still trying to figure out what the roster is going to look like.
Speaking of the Broncos, we know that Brock Osweiler is now from Denver to Houston, and now Mark Sanchez is in Denver. John Elway has said they're not done looking for quarterbacks. Who else may they pursue? Is it something where Colin Kaepernick or RG3 are in the conversation?
Yeah, I think it's Kaepernick is someone they're interested in, or it could be the draft at 31. Remember, they're picking at 31, not 32, because the Patriots forfeited their first-round pick. That could be somewhere Paxton Lynch fits in, who's very similar to Brock Osweiler, of course, who they lost last week to the Houston Texans.
Also looking around the NFL, Ryan Fitzpatrick, apparently when Denver and the Jets have talked to him, it's apparently he's asking for more money than what they're willing to offer. First of all, do you have any idea what that number he's looking for may be? And the second question is, if he doesn't get the number he's looking for, what may he do?
Well, the fact of the matter is he wants way more than either team is looking to pay. And the Jet, I think what will wind up happening is I think the Jets are going to move up their offer at some point over the next couple of weeks. I think that offer could rise, and it could be a situation where they could find some middle ground. But the problem is right now the Jets don't have a middle ground with Fitzpatrick. Once you get a middle ground, it makes it much easier in negotiations to find a deal, which the Eagles were eventually able to do with Sam Bradford. When you don't have a middle ground, it's very, very difficult to accomplish.
Do you think some of the rumors of Ryan Fitzpatrick considering retirement are valid, or you think that's just the rumor mill going wild?
Well, listen, if we're in May after the draft and he still doesn't have a deal, then anything's possible. But I think that's the last thing that would happen, because there are teams that need a quarterback. And the Jets, listen, Ryan Fitzpatrick set career records for passing. He threw for 31 touchdowns, and he's perfect for Chan Gailey's offense, their offense coordinator. And don't forget, he played 3 years for Gailey with the Bills, so he needs an expert at that offense. And I would expect that they'll try to push for a deal, but right now the leverage clearly is with the Jets.
We're talking with ESPN NFL insider Adam Caplan here on the Sports Bash on 97.3 ESPN. Looking at the NFC East, the Eagles and the Giants have seemed to be the most active, while the Cowboys and Redskins have been kind of quiet. Why do you think the Cowboys and Redskins have been so quiet in NFL free agency so far?
Well, I think the Redskins have done this in recent years. They haven't gone crazy, and the Cowboys, what they do is they generally don't start with a lot of cap space, and they start restructuring. They've done that, and they're another team that does not go crazy like they used to in free agency. It's interesting how the Eagles are the one team out of the division that does this, that is spending a lot of money in free agency, and the other teams really are not. Other than the Giants, of course, who, for the first time in I don't know how long, went crazy in free agency. They went really against their policy and spent a lot of money this season.
How much of the Giants going crazy in free agency is basically the GM Reese basically saying, I'm going all in on this. I'm putting all my chips to the middle of the table?
I think he feels the pressure, to be honest with you. I think that's kind of what it came down to.
One last question before I let you go. Looking ahead, are there any more moves or players that may move to different spots and may surprise people?
Oh, no. What you might have is closer to the draft, you may see some trades, because we saw the big trade of the Cardinals and the Patriots, who was certainly a surprise with Chandler Jones going to the Cardinals. I think you could see some trades closer to the draft, but nothing earth-shattering at this point.
Adam Caplan, you can follow him at Caplan NFL, ESPN NFL insider Adam Caplan. Appreciate you carving out a few minutes of your day for us today.
Thank you.